Hey Algebra 2 students, I just want to make a quick screencast for you guys, giving you some directions and kind of the overview of your project and what's expected from you. So your project is going to be researching the pandemic that you've already done so much research for in your past three classes. So we have three directives for you. The first is to be able to research and analyze graphs showing data of your given pandemic. Then once using one of the graphs found, you're going to create a table, create an equation, and then you're going to create your own graph using Desmos. And then you will identify and create future predictions of these models and solve for a variable using what you know about algebra. So I'll explain that a little more in detail. So the first is researching and analyzing graphs. So you're going to find two graphs about your pandemic and do the following for each graph. So first I need you to copy and paste the graph into your project. So make sure you cite where you got that graph from. Then you're going to identify what is the x values and what are the y values. So what's on the x-axis and what's on the y-axis. You're going to identify your domain and range. You're going to identify the maximum and minimum values using the coordinate. Then you're going to use interval notation to identify where the graph is increasing and decreasing. And then I want you to summarize what the graph is telling you in 1 to 2 sentences in your own words. Then step 2, or part 2, directive 2, is to create a table, equation, and graph. So you're going to use one of the graphs you found in part 1 and find the following. First, I want you to create a table of values. So create an x column and a y column. And then you might need to use your best judgment. Some of these graphs might be hard for you to read, so just make some estimates. What's it close to? Might not give you the exact points. Then you're going to create a best fit function to fit the graph. Most likely, it's going to be exponential. If it's quadratic, though, use your graphing calculator. If it's exponential, you're going to show your work. Quadratic, use a graphing calculator. Then once you have an equation, you're going to use Desmos to create a best fit model graph and paste that graph into your project. Then we have our future predictions and the reflection component. So using the equation you found in part 2, I want you to create a following. Create a word problem where you must predict a future amount. So it's like, okay, this graph shows me for 5 months, what's going to be the amount after 8 months. And you'd plug in 8 for x. Then the other word problem is where you have to solve for x. So it's like, okay, when is it going to double? When is it going to triple? When is it going to reach this amount? Okay, so you're working backwards. And then make sure you solve both problems showing all your work. And then there's a reflection portion of it. So you're going to explain the importance of graphs and how they can help inform us during the current coronavirus. So, do graphs help increase your understanding of what's going on, or does it make you a little more confused? Does it make us hopeful that our social distance is working, or are we a little concerned? Are you more scared of what's going on, or do you feel more comfortable about what's going on? Okay, so just answer those questions in your own words about graphs that we see. Then I want you to put it all together, okay? So you're going to choose one of these methods and how you want to create your project. So realistic is creating a physical poster. So if you have paper or a poster board at home, you're going to put all your information on a poster and then send me a picture of that. Investigative is you're just going to create a Google Doc and you're going to organize all parts and images in the Google Docs, make it really nice and neat. Everything has right titles. Artistic is you're going to create some sort of infographic, Prezi, or other platform that showcases the graphs and the research in a creative way. Social would be creating a screencast like this. So you're going to put your project together somehow, and then you're going to record yourself or walking through it and explaining how you got each part of the directive answered. Enterprising is creating a news article to persuade an audience of the severity of the pandemic. So use your graphs and your future predictions to justify your case. You can also create like a video or a podcast too, but I think that would be a little challenging because you need to show your work. So ignore what I just said. Stick to a news article. And then the last is creating an organized Google Slides presentation that shows your responses to each part of the directive. The rubric, if you click here, you will get access to the rubric. Everyone's going to get their own copy of this, and then I will be grading each part. So you can go through that to see what's expected to get a 4. What do I expect for you to get a 1 with? You want to strive for 4s. This should be easy enough for you to get all 4s. Make sure you shared your Google Drive folder with me. I did put that directions for Friday's assignment and how to check to make sure you already did that. So please make sure you have shared your folder so I can see your past projects and research. You're going to submit your finished project to the Google Classroom assignment, and you're also going to see the individual rubric there, so please don't edit that rubric. It's just making a copy so I can edit something when I am grading your assignments. Make sure your project, though, is still in your folder so we can see that. All right, so I know there's a lot going on. So what I decided to do was to make you a sample below. So I made a video walking through exactly how to complete this project using the coronavirus. No one has the coronavirus, so I should show you how to complete it. There's also a link here so you can see what a sample project looks like. If you want to, follow along with what I did, in different things. So feel free to look at that, watch the video, and that's going to be a good guideline for you on how to complete this project. As you're working through your project, I am here to help you if you need help with researching, analyzing, or doing the math parts of it. So please reach out. I will be hosting Zoom meetings Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yeah, so 1 hour, 11 to 12. If that doesn't work for you, please reach out and we can schedule a private meeting or a different time to do something. With these Zoom meetings, you can just log on at any time, ask me a question, log off, whatever works best for you. And then I gave you some recommended sources. So there's a couple websites for you to use, but what I did was I created this pandemic research Google Doc. So if you open it, we have all of the pandemics that you have. And there are some links to some graphs that we already like the way they look and would be really helpful for you. So please use that if you need help. And if you need help finding graphs, okay? So that's a really good source to use. And then we also have the note packets if you need help reminding like what minimum, maximum are, or how to solve the equations, how to create the exponential equations. But you also have, remember, the sample project here, okay? So that sample project is really helpful and it's really a nice model for you to follow along with. Please reach out if you have any questions at all. I am here to help you. I want to see you succeed. I really just want to help you and I want you to do well on this. So please, please, please try and make sure you complete it. And if you're confused, don't give up. Reach out to me and I will help you. Thanks guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.